So, like what I was saying, there are ways that you help a bedwetting child. You help him get off bedwetting. It's not by force. You can't force the brain. You have to retrain the child with what I have mentioned before. So many things: physiotherapy, psychotherapy. You could do manual. You could talk to the child. You could train the child. It's the retraining of the brain. You have to reset the button. 11-year-old child bedwetting is not out of the blue. It is not a forbidden thing. Even if we try to, you know what, you're old enough, please get off bedwetting. You don't force the brain. You retrain the brain. You reset the button by ways of all these things I have mentioned. But they ship the child off to the senior's dormitory. And that is where he got the beating of his life. They started beating him. They won't give him food. They won't let him bathe. This child did not bathe for 2 weeks. And Mrs. Indidi was saying he smelled like the gutter or something
like a gutter, yes.
Like a gutter. And they ask her, why is this child smelling? Oh, the child said he has not bathed. He has not taken his bath for 2 weeks because they won't let him bathe in the senior's bathroom.
Exactly.
What on earth was Mr. Akpan doing when Mr. Akpan knows he cannot take care of children? Why was he in charge of taking care of those children?
Which means they have been abusing children in the school. This is not, you cannot tell us, Nigerians, that this is the first time that they have abused a child in that school. That is not true. They have been practicing this idea of abusing children in that school. And I think in many body house schools in Nigeria, the same thing is going on, that some families, they don't just want to disclose the identity of their children, or they don't want to speak out. You understand? That is why this woman, Mrs. Deborah, I so much have respect for her. For her bravery. She's so brave. They tried to suppress her so many times. There was a time when they took her telephone away from her. The commissioner of education invited her and they seized her telephone. She later retrieved the telephone back from there because they were accusing her for reporting this news on social media. Yeah, on social media. So the oppression and human rights violation prevailing in Nigeria, I think, is unacceptable in 21st century. We cannot be watching this from America, not America, and be quiet with the injustice, especially when it comes to children. We are all mothers, for Christ's sake. We are all mothers. Exactly. You understand? So we can't be quiet, and we have a message. We'll come back next time again to discuss about this topic. We have a sound message that we are going to send to the government of Nigeria, because schools in Nigeria are not well regulated.
No. And they want to shut you up.
Yes. Go ahead. We'll come back again next time to discuss about this topic, but you just go ahead now. Go ahead.
We want to praise her bravery. Mrs. Okeze, I love you. I love you for not, for not being pushed to the wall. I love you for speaking up. I love you for coming out. Even if the problem was overwhelming, you took time, you took the energy, you took the bravery, you confronted this. I am so happy that you brought this out, because as Nekpen just mentioned, there are so many people that have been going through this, but because, there's no publicity about it, nobody knew, they just cover it under the carpet. Deeper life or whatever, I don't know what to tell you. Because the picture you paint outside is you are this holier than thou. I'm not trying to, okay, please don't paint me black. I'm not trying to call anybody a Satan here. But what I'm trying to say is, when you have a reputation to hold, please let that reputation cut across everything. Let your reputation go across everything. Don't maltreat other people's children. You said you have a boarding house, which you can take care of other people's children. And now you are maltreating an 11-year-old child, a child. I have seen adults bedwetting, and the heavens didn't fall. I'm telling you, the heavens did not fall. So when they are saying he was bedwetting, and that's the reason they shipped him off to the senior's dormitory to get maltreatment, they tortured him. They tortured that boy. Another senior was poking hands into his anus. I don't know what they did to him. It makes me cry. I lose my sleep over this little boy, because I have an 11-year-old child. And even if every mother, every female, every human being on earth, when you see a child, a minor being abused, and you don't speak up, then what do you call yourself? How do you fight for children? This is unacceptable. Going on in the 21st century in our lives, we will not accept this. We will take all measures to help her fight this. We will not accept this. I was just telling Nepa, I said, this should even go to international court. We want to hear this case. This case will linger on until they tell us what they did to that child.
We can't be quiet. We can never be quiet over this case.
The doctor went to the hospital without the parents' consent.
Yes.
Who let the doctor in to take that child
a blood sample?
Who did? Everyone is accountable for this child. The nurses, the doctors, everyone that is in this mess is accountable. Who allowed, because that doctor was not the direct caregiver. He was not the primary caregiver of the child. What was he doing in that environment? Why did they allow him inject or take blood sample from that child? Who allowed that doctor come in? So these are cases these are built up cases for them to answer. They have to give everyone this answer. They have to give the mother answer. And what I'm just hearing now is they took the blood sample and now the child's or whatever is HIV positive, which I haven't confirmed. But when the child came to school, Nekme, I'm asking, what medication came with the child? Because the CEO, what do you call them? CEO, head of Deeper Life said the child had malaria. So malaria and HIV, they are not the same. The medications you use for both are not the same. The other one is retroviral and the other one is anti-malaria medications. So which medications did the mom bring with the child? Because I know that every mother, anyone with sensible heart, with sensible mind will not ship off a sick child to a school.
You know what?